Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the Impact Blessing the Airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you. It's Sunday morning. It's the 4th of June. The sun is shining outside, and we've got a full day of baseball along with the NBA Finals tonight. And without further ado, I got my boy, my co-host, the evil genius of Major League Baseball, Dr. Dan. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? Nothing much. Hey, just got a beautiful weekend out here. Was barbecuing for the family yesterday for the daughter's first birthday.
Awesome.
So, yeah, man, it was, you know me, I love to get that cooking going on, but I'm looking forward to just getting through this week, honestly, because I'm on a jet plane out to Vegas for next weekend and the whole week.
Nice.
So,
Good, man. So you're gonna be doing your thing out in Las Vegas. How long are you staying out there for?
So I'm out there for a work conference primarily. I come in a little early, a couple days early to get, to get myself a little freedom. But no, I'll be out there through the whole week. I'm leaving like real late Thursday night, Friday morning, and then I'm going to my boy's wedding right from there. So I'm traveling all over the place, man. I'm in Vegas. I'm in Texas. I'll be in Cali. I'm all over.
Do you fly first class, Dan?
When it's available, yes.
When it's available, yes. Now, I did have this conversation with my bride.
Only myself, no. I don't fly my wife and my kids first.
Okay, all right. I did have this conversation with my bride the other day. Okay, and we were out to dinner and we were talking about traveling and whatnot. And we had the conversation. I told her, I said, you know what? This last trip that I did, I flew coach, and I was completely miserable on the plane. So I said to her, I said, you know what? I said, maybe what we should do is and part of my anxiety of going away and, is like the travel, getting the bags, getting off the plane, getting on the plane, blah, blah, blah. Like that part of traveling sucks and it almost makes it not enjoyable. So I said to her, I said, you know what? Maybe what we should do on our next trip is maybe either go one less day or something along those lines, like, skimp on something else or maybe just save a little bit more money and try to make that experience as good as well. Maybe
Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
If you don't fly first class, so like I never fly straight coach.
Yep.
Like I'm not trying to sound bougie or nothing, but I'm a big dude and like I don't need to be like a sardine.
Yeah, right.
Like for if it's like a little like 90-minute flight, like I'm going to Buffalo or something, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like it's 90 minutes. But like if anything that's longer than 3 hours, I always upgrade to either like the Coach Plus, so like the extra leg room and like a little bigger seat and like the TV in the back. It's not first class, so you don't get the food and stuff. But that's normally like anywhere from $50 to $70 depending on the airline.
Yep.
So like that makes it so much better too.
Yeah, it does. It does. Because I remember, flying where I had the leg room like near the windows, or not near the windows, near the emergency exits and stuff. Dude, it was killer, man. I mean, I was just like,
when you can stretch out like that.
Especially, Dan, especially if you're on a flight and you're in coach and you're squeezed between two bigger guys.
So I never. So that's the other key. I never sit bitch. Hell no. Like I'm 250 plus myself, right? So if I'm sitting in the middle, it's 6'2", 250, you're like, all right. So no, I'm always on either the window or the aisle. That's a given.
Yeah.
And then I try and get first class as much as I can. I mean, here's the thing, guys. I also almost never pay for it, right? I mean, like I've been traveling so much that those airline miles, it's like free. So you start traveling, I mean, you'll rack those up real quick.
Oh, big time.
But to me, it's like JetBlue when you're flying from JFK to like LAX or SFO. It's an extra $500 to upgrade to their first class.
Wow.
That ain't nothing. Like to me, being comfortable for 6 hours is much. I'll pay $100 an hour.
I agree. I agree 100%, man. So I think that's what we're going to do from now on.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Just because I just hate the traveling. I hate it.
The other thing too that's key is like, especially like Hartford, it doesn't matter because it's small. But if you're flying out of JFK, right, and let's say you're flying like American or JetBlue, dude, they got the private check-in and security if you're first class, right? You don't got to deal with all the BS. It's just like, oh, come on, I got your bags here. They put a special sticker on your bags too, so they get loaded on the plane last, so you get them first.
Oh.
You get them right away.
All right, well, my decision's made.
It's worth it.
You sold me. I'm in. That's it. That's where I'm at.
Do it.
All right. Sounds good. So, anyway, guys, good morning to you. We are the SBTV Nation. We are a sports show. We're not just here to sell first-class airlines.
No, but we're going to make that money so you can fly first class.
Yes, of course. Absolutely, man. So, if you go through and recap yesterday in the Diamond, I had a very, very good day yesterday, man. I really did.
Nice, man.
And, I'd like to just kind of get a feel for what you see going on in the MLB right now because, there's some teams that are starting to really emerge here, Dan.
It's the West, baby.
It's the West. Talk to me about the West.
It's just, what else can you say? Obviously, in the American League, the Astros are the best team in baseball by such a far margin.
Yes.
That it's not even close. 40-16 and 20-6 on the road.
That's sick.
20-6 on the road. They're 9-1 in their last 10. I love that team. I've loved that team since before the year started. Hey, Hat, let me ask you this real quick, not to get off topic. But, in the 3 years that we've been talking about this, I had one World Series prediction come right already.
Yep.
With the Royals. If I get 2 out of 3 years, that ain't bad.
No, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Well, it's, especially if because you're picking the teams to win their respective pennants. So
and I will tell you this: do you remember what my ALCS matchup was? You remember who I had the Astros beating in the ALCS?
Oh God, was it the? It wasn't the Red Sox, was it?
It was.
It was the Red Sox.
It was. And look who now has the third best record in the American League.
Yeah.
Okay? If the Red Sox were in the Central, they'd be in first place by 2.5 games.
Yeah, you're right.
They're only 3 games behind the Yankees. Okay? And if they were in the AL West, they'd be in second place behind the Astros.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So
look, the Central's a joke. I still think that Detroit makes a run because I think that they're the ones that have the money to spend, to get somebody. And the Twins, I think, are starting to fall off a little bit. They're 4-6 in their last 10. They've been playing really good road baseball.
Sure.
But the Twins are 12-18 at home. They're 6 under at home. That's got to change, right?
Yeah, you would think so. You would definitely think so.
I still think it's looking. I think Red Sox win the East. I think Detroit wins the Central. Astros win the West. You're still looking probably at the Stanks as the number 1 wild card, and I still think the Orioles are going to get that number 2 wild card.
Okay. All right.
That's my AL, thoughts right now. And then the NL, really look, it's the Dodgers, the Rockies, the Diamondbacks, and the Nationals.
Sick.
The West is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Dodgers 21-8 at home.
Sick.
The Diamondbacks 21-8 at home. And then the Rockies are 20-10 on the road. Here's the thing. I think the Rockies have the biggest upside out of any of these teams because the Rockies, if you remember every year, if you look at their road or home record, right? It's always been sick.
Yep.
And they're only 2 games over 500 at home. So I expect one of these home stands that they just go off on an 8-game, 9-game winning streak. I really think that's coming on top of what they're already doing.
Yeah. Well, you know what? In the beginning of the year, and we've been big advocates of the run line these days, guys. And I want to send a special shout out to my man Maurice Dante, who has been keeping track of this. He's telling me out of 89 MLB games played Saturday and Sundays this year, 69 games were won by 2 or more runs, which is 77%. So what that means is that if you're playing a side, guys, play a damn run line. Don't worry about it, because a lot of these teams, like the Colorado Rockies yesterday, covered lovely 10-1, Dan. They won yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and you want it, but the thing is that with the Rockies, you know, I'm looking at their wins here, and it's about the same percent. It's about 25% where they're covering that, or not covering it, I should say. You know, well, they'll win the game and win by 1 run.
Yeah,
So-
and like you said, you can't really sweat those.
No, you can't. If you win by 1 run and you're given a 1 run line, it's rare. So
like I said, especially with like a team like the Rockies or the Dodgers or the Diamondbacks, I'd be curious to see if you've bet the run line in every game on them, where would you be?
right, because it's all plus money.
Oh, I know. I mean, you're
All-
talking about, you know, you're sitting here talking about the Dodgers, right? Or like any of these teams out west, or like the Nationals, and then you see -1.5 at like plus 185,
I know.
and you're like, okay, and like, you know, if you get them and they're like -130 or -140 on the money line, you know, it for sure makes sense. I've come around to that like full speed.
Absolutely. And yesterday I got the Yankees plus 195, and they won the game 7-0.
Yeah.
So that worked out pretty good. That's like 2 bets. Love it. Great way to start.
Yeah.
I had a money line.
Hell, I mean,
and
like
run
I
line.
said, I mean, the other weekend, 2 and 4 on a Saturday, but I ended up making like $20.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. And you could do it if you have a dog. You could actually do it where you money line them and run line them, just in case. But to be honest with you, I looked at the money line yesterday. I'm like, why am I even doing this? I should put it all in the run line. So anyway, we're going to keep moving, guys. I'm just looking at the MLB real quick. I mean, there, you know, a couple of teams that'll probably be selling some pieces this year. I would expect maybe the White Sox, the Royals, the A's. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, the A's are going to sell anything they can.
Yep.
My question is, if the Rangers continue to crap the bed,
Yeah.
does Darvish become available, and who goes out? Like, do the Yankees have enough to go get him? That'd be crazy. Maybe the Mariners start selling. I mean, if the Angels fall completely out of it, remember Trout's out for 2 months.
Yeah.
Do they start looking at dealing pieces? Definitely the White Sox. Definitely the Royals. The Blue Jays, you know, they're 2 games under 500. Do they think that they hang with it, or do they think they can trade for some pieces? I don't know. And then in the NL, I mean, there's going to be some real fire sales. I mean, you know, the Padres. I think the Giants will probably trade some of their pieces if they can get good prospects. The Pirates, the Reds.
Sure.
You know, then you know, the Phillies and the Marlins. Speaking of which, can you believe that no from Volquez?
No, I can't. I was actually that was one of my blemishes yesterday. It was the Arizona D-backs, and you know, didn't work out so well.
Unbelievable. The guy's been a bum all year, and he goes and shuts out what might be the best offense in baseball.
That's insane.
And no hits him. I give him his credit. 2 walks, under 100 pitches. Great defense behind him. But dude, the Phillies again. Oh my God.
Yeah.
They just went like 6-22, I think, in the month of May. 6-22 for May. I mean, look, and what's crazy is like the Mets are playing terrible. Like you watch them and you're like, oh my God, this team is atrocious. But they're in second place in 6 games under 500.
Yeah.
So you wonder if they can actually get like some better pitching. Like if it just can shape up. I mean, you know, look, if they get to 500, they're going to be in the wild card run again.
Right on, man. Right on. And you know what? Giselman, he's been my guy.
He's good, man. He's good. You know, look, he had a rough start to the year. I think things happen. I mean, he's still really young. And in the last few starts, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, he gave up a couple runs. He's your 5th starter. You know, it's like, what do you want?
Yeah, right.
Even Wheeler, you know, I know he gave up 10 hits, but, you know, that was a hard luck loss. Harvey's terrible. I don't even know.
What happened to Harvey?
Here's the thing, man. I mean, you're still talking, and I think people forget, and a lot of people don't want to give him the benefit of the doubt because a lot of people think he's a douchebag. But like, I still have a special place for Matt. Maybe it's because he's a Connecticut guy. I don't know. But he had Tommy John and thoracic outlet surgery, both probably the two biggest surgeries you could have as a pitcher. And there's been a number of guys that have had those surgeries that have never come back right again. And he's had both of them.
Right, exactly.
You know who he reminds me of, and I can move on from this after that. But watching the Pirates series, you see Daniel Hudson in the bullpen, and I remember when Daniel Hudson came up, and in his first year in the bigs, he won 16 games. He looked dominant. They were like, "Oh, this dude's amazing." 2 Tommy John surgeries later, he's like a bullpen scrub and like can't do anything. So,
exactly.
I think the true test for Matt Harvey will be getting through the season healthy. Look, I know with the Mets right now, you don't want to sacrifice winning, but the bigger issue is like, hey, we need Cespedes to come back, and you still lost. I mean, your top pitcher and your top closer. So we'll see what happens. I don't expect them to make a big run, but I'm just saying it's possible.
Sure.
It's plausible.
Absolutely. And so what's the deal with Syndergaard?
I mean, he'll be back when he's back. I don't – do you bring him back if they're out of it?
Oh, I think you have to.
Why?
Oh, you're saying so? If he's
Why?
he's got to be 100% though. He's got to be.
If the Mets are 15 games under 500,
yeah, okay, I got it.
And there's no shot. Like let's say they're mathematically eliminated. Let's say the Dodgers, the Rockies, and Arizona all are like 20 games over 500, right? And they're all battling for first place in the 2 wild cards. You know it's done, and it's August, and they're like, "Up, Syndergaard's ready," and you're like, let's save those bullets for next year.
Yeah, good point. Good point. So, Mets futures aren't looking too good right now.
Hey, I mean, if you throw a couple shekels on it, today it might be worth it. But if you had them at the beginning, which I don't think any of us advised that. I mean, the money wasn't right for the futures at the beginning of the year, and it's never gotten better.
Yeah, right.
So it is what it is.
It is what it is. And one more guy that I want to talk about is Montgomery for the Yankees. What a stellar outing yesterday. He pitched very well yesterday. I mean, dude, three hits total for that Toronto Blue Jays offense, and 2 of them were in 1 inning. He had first and second, nobody out. And, I mean, he struck out a couple of big dogs for Toronto.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So
yeah. I mean, to be honest, I didn't get. I saw the stat line on that. I didn't really see much of that game just because I was busy with other stuff. But look, the Yankees have a crazy opportunity to do something. I don't know if they have a World Series team, but they have a playoff team. And, hey, look, you get into the playoffs, that's, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Exactly. So, all right, guys, so we're going to move on here. Obviously, baseball is among us here, but we do have something else going on tonight before we get into baseball. We might as well get right into it right now, Dan, and then we'll talk about the baseball and see if we could pick any spots. But let's get into the NBA playoffs tonight. Let's get into the fact that the Golden State Warriors laid the smackdown on the Cleveland Cavaliers in their last game. They won by 23 points.
Kevin Durant, baby.
Kevin Durant was clearly the front runner for the MVP and still is, and that was something that the Dream and I had our eyeballs on, and we talked about it. Then we had talked about a couple of dark horses, but right now he's clearly the front runner here to be the MVP. We got the line is set tonight at 8.5 with Golden State Warriors being favored. Under over of 220.5. And the money line, you have to lay minus 420 for the Golden State Warriors just to win the game. Talk to me, Dan. Are you betting this game?
I think so.
You think so?
I think so. I think Golden State smashes them. What I saw, and here's the thing, I understand what happened last year. And everybody wants to scream and yell about what happened to the Cavs. What was it, Game 2 when they got the absolute crap kicked out of them, and then they came back and they won and all that. Steph Curry's 100%.
Yep.
The added maybe the third best player in the league in Kevin Durant. And there's just too much. There is too much to overcome. And even Klay Thompson, whose offense has been god-awful, has been playing defense like a wild man.
Been playing well.
Real well. I mean, that's why he's out there. I mean, he is taking that defensive specialist role. And here's the thing. You know he's going to shoot his way out of it. He's too good of a shooter to be held down.
I agree.
The whole time. And I just see this as a 20-plus point win for Golden State.
20-plus point win.
Annihilation.
Well, we talked about it in the last game that, you know what, if you're really thinking that, then you can go and hammer an adjusted line if you wanted to. If you want to give like 12.5, if you want to give 13, it's plus 175. You could give 15.5 at plus 245. We were talking about giving 17.5 last game. And it paid like stupid money, almost 4 to 1. But that's something to take a look at, guys, because I did have this on my brain because, this isn't the regular season. This is the NBA Finals, okay? You're looking for a team that's trying to make history here and not lose in the playoffs at all. And when you're up 10 points in a game, their foot is not coming off the gas. They will keep going until the end. Even in the last game when they were up 20, they were still shooting threes like left and right.
Yeah, they just play their game. I think that's the one thing that Golden State learned is like, because you saw what happened when they almost got beat by the Spurs, right?
Yep.
It's like they kind of took it off the gas and whatever, and it bit them in the ass. I just don't see that happen. I'm with you. I just don't think there's enough, man. I mean, look, they also got out turnover. What was it, 20-8 as well? That can't happen.
No, dude. And Golden
8 turnovers? That's crazy.
I know. It's a very, very low number on their part. Playing really good basketball. And the defense has definitely stepped up. You know what? The only thing I'm going to do.
As bad as a mismatch as Cleveland was for Boston, right?
Yep.
That's what's going on here. I mean, this is the problem with the NBA is, and maybe I'll be proved wrong like LeBron did last year, but with the addition of Kevin Durant, there is not a team in the world I don't think that you could put together. I think the Golden State Warriors would be an all-star team. If you kept, all those guys are all-stars, right? But I'm saying you take every other all-star in the NBA league and pair them up, put them all together any way you want. Nobody beats Golden State in a best-of-7 series.
Yeah. Listen, you got two.
Who you throwing out there? You're obviously throwing LeBron out there.
Yeah, Kawhi
out there. Russell Westbrook.
Oh my God.
James Harden. And then I don't know who your I guess your center is probably I don't know. Whoever.
Yeah,
but I'm saying you're still not beating them.
Yeah.
You're not beating that team.
Thank you to Martin for that photo. I really appreciate the one under the waterfall. That really kind of set the mood here for Sunday morning. So you're on them. You might do an adjusted.
I don't know about adjusted. I actually might buy the hook. Just get it to 8 and laugh.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
But I also like the over too. So I might just do a little Sunday night finals fun with a -8 parlay in the over.
Okay. Sounds good. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chase the LeBron James prop over 31.5 points.
I agree with that.
I'm going to chase it, and I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to double it down. So that's where I'm at. The only thing is that, it's minus 140. I hate laying juice. I hate it. I hate it. But I'm going to do it. And that's that.
You get that adjusted?
I might try to get that adjusted. Get it up to like 33, 34. Something like that. You know what I mean? So, all right, brother. So, hey, that does it for the NBA. Let's get right into Major League Baseball. We got games
real quick, I don't know if you just want to recap. I know we don't have Dream today, but just briefly on the absolute drubbing that Nashville delivered to Pittsburgh last night.
Big time. Big time. The Nashville Predators got it done.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. And their goaltender finally stood on his head. First time beating the Pens. Look, I still like. I still think this series goes the distance, and Nashville will end up winning it. But hey, let's see if we can turn our hopes into dreams.
There you go. There you go. Guys, I got to tell you something. And I don't know how many of you own motorcycles and stuff out there, but when you're super obnoxious and just revving your stuff and just kind of just trying to look cool, you're not. Period. You're just not. Well, you know what I mean? There's guys that are out there, like, you know, when you have the bars that are outside and stuff like that shake the whole bar. And no one thinks you're cool. There's a very good South Park episode that, I don't know if you remember that absolutely rips people who do that. Yeah, it's like, you know what? Women don't think it's attractive. Men think you're an idiot. So just don't do it, man. I mean, you know, it's so annoying. There's this place that I like down in Norwalk. It's on the water, right? I like to go there, and you can sit on the rooftop and like overlook the sunset in the summer. Like real nice seafood place, right? Yeah. And then all these douchebags with the bikes will come by and like rev, and you're like, yeah, great. Like, you just jealous because you can't afford to eat at the restaurant, homie? Like, is that what it is? Yeah, is that what's going on? Pretty much, man. Pretty much. Let's get into the baseball card. Let's get into the baseball card, man, because we got a bunch of games on the ticket today, and we're going to start at 1:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've got Luis Severino versus Marcus Stroman, AL East matchup. Yankees, Blue Jays, even money, under, over of 8. Dan, I think I got to push the Yanks run line again. Oh man, I can understand why. But Stroman's been the guy for Toronto, but Severino's been unreal. Yeah, 4-2 with a 2.93 ERA. Stroman 6-2 with a 3.28. You know, obviously the Yankees have a plan for the Toronto lineup. You know, I think a lot of people forget, you know, pitchers pitch, and they obviously are the 90% of the talent. But knowing how to handle a lineup that's as dangerous as Toronto is something. And I don't disagree with you there. It just scares. If it was anybody else on the mound other than Stroman, I'd be with you. I just don't. I don't like that. I can see the Yankees winning this game by 1 run. You know. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna take a shot because you know what? When I can get a team like the Yankees, a team that puts up 5.5 runs a game, a team that if you take them on a run line today, pays. Let's see what the actual odds are as far as the run line is concerned for the New York Yankees. New York Yankees, if you take them on the run line, you are plus 165. And I got a plus 170 as well. Plus 170. So. Shop your lines, man. I got to do it. I'm going to push the Yankees again. They may lose, but you know what? Whatever. I picked up a plus 195 with them yesterday, so you know what? I'll do it again. All right. Where are you off to next? So this is a little cray, but let's go to Cincinnati. Atlanta's at Cincinnati. All right. Tehran against Garrett. Nice. I like the Braves run line in here. You like the Braves run line? Cincinnati. This dude Garrett, 3-3 with a 6 ERA. Tehran is 4-4 with a 4.82. But I just think that he gets the way better of the Cincinnati lineup. And here's the thing. Do you know what his road ERA is? No. 1.42. Wow. Doing pretty well. 1.42. And I just think that that this dude, Garrett, gets lit up by a not-so-good Atlanta team. But, I mean, what that run line right now as well is that's big money. That's, it's plus 175. There you go. So you're on plus 175. I'm on it. Okay. I'm on it. Sounds good, brother. Sounds very good here. Let's move on here. Let's see if let me pull this down. Talk to me about the Mets today. I know. I'm looking at the Mets. I'm looking at a 70 degrees and sunny. Oh, well, partly cloudy, but under over of 9. You got Tyler Pill Tyler Pill versus Trevor Williams. Pirates are 6 games under 500. Mets are 6 games under 500. Mets are favored minus 116 with an under-over of 9. I don't have an opinion here. I don't know anything about Pill.
So, I mean, he looked really good in his first start with the Mets. This is a dude that in Vegas in AAA had like a sub-2 ERA.
Wow.
Which is crazy because most people get lit up in Vegas, and if you see a guy with like a 4 ERA, you're really impressed. He throws all his pitches extremely well. I watched this kid, and I was like, why hasn't he been up here sooner?
Yeah.
I like the way he throws the ball. And look, here's the thing with the Pirates. Their defense stinks. I mean, the Mets defense is pretty bad too, so maybe that's a wash. But they also just they don't look like they hit the ball at times very well. McCutchen looks like an absolute shell. Obviously, I want to see what lineup comes out today. You know, remember, guys, these are Sunday day games. No more amphetamines in baseball, so guys take more days off.
Right.
You know, but I think if the standard Mets lineup comes out today, you get in that plus 170 at minus 1.5. I like that.
Sounds good, brother.
I mean, I'm never worried about the Mets offense.
No, you're not. You're not.
It's the bullpen. The bullpen ERA is atrocious, and the starters go 4.5 or 5 innings.
Yeah, good point. All right. I'm going to take it over now. I mean, unless you got anything on the Arizona Marlins game.
I actually do.
Okay.
I don't see. Do you see what Arizona is minus 1.5 yet? I don't.
Yeah, the Arizona D-backs minus 1.5 runs actually is not up yet. It's not posted.
Yeah, I don't see it posted, so I can't. Something just tells me that the Diamondbacks kicked the absolute crap out of Worley today. I mean, they got to be so pissed off.
Yeah.
I mean, they are angry. And here's the thing: I don't think they're going to get. Maybe you're waiting for a lineup. I don't think that they're resting anybody today. I mean, after you get no hit, I mean, if you're anybody, you want to be back in there.
Of course.
You know, so and I think they have a day off tomorrow as well.
Okay.
For a travel day. You know, they'll travel back, they'll whatever. But when that comes out, I mean, I think the D-backs are going to smash the Marlins. I mean, remember, the Marlins are like the second worst team in baseball.
Yep. Right on. All right. Well, you know what? I think you're onto something there, Dan. And I might take a shot as well with the Arizona D-backs. It sounds pretty good, and like you said, I can't see him resting anybody either, especially after being no hit by both guys.
And I know Shipley. I know Shipley is like, you're like, oh, who's this guy? Like, is he going to be any good? It's like, I don't think it really matters. The Marlins bats stink.
Yep,
So-
they sure do, man. I mean, they don't put up anything. So
No, and it's amazing when you look. I mean, you would think a team that has, you know, the hitters that they have would be able to score some runs.
you would think.
I don't know. There's going to be a fire sale. You know how the Marlins love to sell everybody.
Sure do.
You think, now here's the thing. If they put Stanton on the market,
Wow.
his contract's what, like $250 million?
Yeah, man.
Does someone do it? Does someone pull the trigger and take him? Does Boston go out and try and make a move for him?
That would be a big move. Boston
That I
definitely
mean,
needs
you
something.
fill the big poppy hole right there.
Oh, yeah.
That's a World Series making move.
Yeah, they got to contend with the Astros.
And you know they trade with each other all the time.
Yep.
You know what? That is my like underdog trade. And if they don't get Stanton, maybe they get Yelich.
Very good point. Very good point, Dan. Moving on
Red
to
Sox.
Red Sox, Orioles, Tillman, Chris Sale, Boston minus 185, under over of 8.5. I love that they're almost minus 200 on the road. Wow.
Oh my God! And you know, minus 1.5 is still not. It's still minus 120. I got no interest in this. I'm
No.
gonna watch it.
Right.
I love watching Chris Sale. You know, this is one of those where it's almost like I should take the Orioles on the adjusted at minus 1.5 just because of contrarian view. I mean, it's plus 310.
I know. It's not bad.
It's plus 310. Like, part of me is like, do I just put $100 on it? Like, I don't expect to win, but like, it's baseball. Like, here's the thing: it could be 1-0 Red Sox, and Sale, throws a bunch of pitches. It's like, and then they light up the bullpen.
Yeah.
I'm just saying at plus 310, it almost makes me just want to make a move.
I got plus 315 on my board, and the minus 2.5, plus 525. That's a funny bet.
$100 on that.
Yeah, why not? Why not? All right. And then all they got to do is get a 3-run lead, and then you just bet the other way.
Here's the thing: 3-run homer.
That's it.
It happens. I mean, pitchers give up. I've seen Chris Sale give up a home run.
It's one swing at a bat.
I know.
That's all
it's
it is.
One bad pitch.
One bad pitch. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, man. Sounds pretty good. Let's go into the next game here. I mean, I'm almost inclined to play with the 2.5s because once you get the live line, if all you got to do is catch that lead once in the game. That's all you got to do is get it once.
And then you just hedge. Yeah, you're 100% right.
You know what I mean? And then if let's say you got even money, at that point you're making plus 425 on it if it hits. Just saying. All right, moving on to the next game here. Let's see. Any interest in Giants, Phillies, or Dodgers, Brewers?
Not really.
No, you know what? I think the Brewers as a dog at home might be a pretty decent play. Maeda's had a very high ERA here, 5.21 for the Dodgers. But Dodgers are hitting a ball. I mean, they're playing really well this year.
Yeah, but you're also going against Davies, who has a 5.1. I mean, they're basically the same pitcher.
Yeah,
and so you would automatically go, oh, we have to go and play the over in this game, but it's 9.5.
I know.
I mean, I'm actually very inclined to play the under. I think it's a Sunday day game. It's getaway day for the Dodgers. You have two pitchers that have been severely subpar from what they can do. And you know what? I'm in love with this under.
You're in love with
I'm playing the under 9.5.
Okay.
I'm playing the under 9.5.
All right. Where are you at next?
No, that's too late. Let's why is there a 7:35 game tonight? Is that when the night game? That's weird.
Oh yeah, 7:30.
Let's see a 7:30 start. Are they trying to stay away from the NBA Finals?
Yeah, that's probably exactly what's going on because the NBA Finals I think starts at 8.
That's weird. They start 7:35, but let's see. Let's go to 4:10.
4:10.
And we have Tampa Bay at Seattle.
Okay.
Going for Seattle is Ariel Miranda, who I really like the kid. 5-2. He has a 4.17, and he's going against Erasmo Ramirez. 3-0 with a 3.66. I like Seattle to get it done today. -1.5, plus 166. I think they get the better of the Tampa Bay pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a bullpen guy. I don't know how many innings he's actually going to go. So automatically I'm sitting there and I'm saying -1.5 to plus 166. You have a guy in Miranda that in his last couple starts has been absolutely lights out. I mean, 2-0 with a 2.45, 22 strikeouts in 22 innings over his last 4 starts.
Wow.
At home, I think this is a money maker right here.
Money maker. Well, you got the Mariners are 16-10 at home, so.
Yes, sir.
All
And
right.
like I said, I think they're going to knock Ramirez out early. And they jump all over it.
Sounds good. All right. I'm looking at a 4:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start. Nationals, Athletics, Sonny Gray, Tanner Roark. I kind of got to go Nationals -1.5, Dan.
You love that Tanner Roark.
I do, man. Well, Joe Ross is my guy, but he got murdered.
Yeah, no, I know. He did. I thought of you. I was like, I'm like, shelled. But
well, I was doing Joe Ross in the overs. You know what I'm saying?
Do we have a -1.5 on this yet?
Yeah, plus 160 on the Nationals.
I don't see how you can't do it.
Yeah.
I agree with you there. That seems off. I mean, I know Oakland hits the ball a little bit, and you're worried that maybe Roark does get shelled. I just don't see it. I think I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean, because I
believe
believe that the Nationals have been one of the most potent teams and most profitable teams to bet on a run line. They're scoring almost 6 runs a game, Dan.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
I think that's.
I just keep thinking about how much money Bryce Harper's going to get.
Yeah, right. Well, he's definitely not
think
going to get it.
Half a billion?
Yeah, maybe he's going to get big money. But loved the fight, by the way, the other day.
Oh, yeah, but don't throw the helmet.
Yeah, well, he didn't. He definitely looked like an idiot throwing a helmet since it went sideways.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Well, that's why. Yeah, I mean, it was a complete deke, but yeah, don't throw the helmet.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Other than that, hey, that's baseball.
It is baseball. So, I did enjoy watching that. So, all right. So, moving on here. I'm taking a look at the Rockies versus the Padres. Cozart versus Hoffman. Rockies -125. Under over of 8.5. Rockies can mash that ball, brother.
Yes, they can. Something is telling me that this is going to be a really high scoring game. Cozart, I don't love Jared Cozart. And he walks everybody. I mean, he loves walking dudes. And then you have Hoffman, who 2 decent spot starts, and another spot start today. I see where you're going with this. I I think that Colorado mashes them. But just something, I don't know. There's just something I think Hoffman also gets kind of lit up today.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. But I see where you're going with it.
I don't know if I'm going to bet it. And I don't think I am. Because I don't feel I got my Rockies money yesterday. So I think I'm going to put that money in some other place, like the Nationals. That's where I'm going to go.
You know where I think you should put your money in today?
Where do you think?
Kansas City.
Kansas City, the Royals.
The Royals.
A home team underdog.
-1.5. This is my play of the day.
Play of the day. Royals
-1.5 plus 250.
Oh, all right. Tell me
Dude,
why.
I do not understand this at all. All right, you have a guy in Trevor Bauer. I understand he's coming off a great start, or what they call a great start. He struck out 14 guys. He still gave up 7 hits and 3 runs against the A's.
Yep.
He has a 6.00 ERA. He's 5-4. The guy that's pitching for the Royals say, let me introduce you to Eric Skoglund. Okay. What he did in his first ever start was only 6 1/3 scoreless, 2 hits, striking out 5 against the Tigers.
Wow.
Dude is a stud. And you're talking about, I mean, look, I know the Royals stink.
Yeah, and they can't score.
Yeah, no, they can't. But if you look at how they hit off Bauer, I mean, you have guys Hosmer, 357. Alex Gordon doesn't do well against him. But then you have Alcides Escobar, 333 against him. You have guys that hit this dude and know how to hit him. I really think that you're going to see a big-time Royals win today. I love this at plus 250.
Plus 250. And if you want to lay 2.5, it's plus 435, brother.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whew.
All right. Let's move on here to the team that I feel will not make the playoffs this year. And that is the Chicago Cubs. They're facing the Cardinals today. Michael Wacha versus Kyle Hendricks. Cubs -160, under over of 8.5. I don't know if this team has any business laying this kind of juice these days. They're a 500 team, regardless of what they did last year.
I agree.
You still think they make a run, though?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the division's so mediocre too.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, hey, I think books are begging me to cash my under out now.
Oh yeah, big time. Big time.
But I mean, look, I like the Cardinals here.
You like the Cardinals?
I don't see what it is. They're plus 159 on the money line. I don't see a -1.5.
We don't have it yet.
But you got to think that's going to be around 200.
At least.
If not a little more.
Yeah.
I don't really understand the juice here.
I don't either. It's especially an interdivision matchup here between these two.
I mean,
teams.
you have a 500 team and a team that's one game under 500.
Let me ask you,
it's not like the Cubs are 10 games over.
I haven't seen. I've seen a lot of road success this year. I don't really know that home field is really doing anything for these teams this year, Dan.
A lot of the better teams this year have great. I mean, they have great road records. It's almost abnormal because what you normally say is like, hey, you want to win 2 out of 3 of your games at home and go 500 on the road.
That's it.
And if you do that, that's a mark of a very good team.
That's all you need. Right.
I mean, because if you think about it, win 2 out of 3 at home, and then if you go 500 on the road, I think that puts you at like 90.
Puts you at least 20 games over.
Right. So you have teams that right now, I mean, like you said, Houston and Arizona, or what is it, Colorado, all these teams on the road that are just killing it.
I know.
So I think for your really good teams, I don't think it's a big deal, but also you're starting to see for some of these really bad teams, especially since the weather hasn't been that great in a lot of the country, you're seeing some of these games where you're like, wow, there's like 5,000 people there, and it's like empty. You could like hear things it's like really crazy. So,
I know, it is pretty nuts. And what's crazy too is that in Tampa Bay, it's always empty, and some of the seats were like, they were expensive.
It's so stupid.
What is that?
It's the owner being out of touch with reality.
Sure.
Trying to segregate, they like to segregate people in the baseball stadium instead of make money. But like, I'll tell you who does it right. You have teams like the Pirates and the Indians where you could sit like behind the opposing team's dugout for like maybe $50 max. Like great seats at those stadiums. But then there's some owners like these idiots that they don't want to sell tickets. They'd rather keep their like millionaire fans that there's like 2 of them, segregated from the population instead of selling a good ticket for under $100.
Right.
It's dumb.
All right, man. So do you have any more baseball on your ticket?
Nah, I mean, that pretty much does it.
All right, sounds good, man.
Pretty much does it.
Cool. Well, hey, full card of baseball today, man. You going to be grilling? What are you going to be doing today?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably just going to be relaxing, dude. Yesterday took it all out of me, and it's leftovers. So I'll probably just sit around with a few beers, eating some leftover barbecue, and just watching and making that money.
Sounds great, Dan. All right. So let's close this thing up. Guys, thank you very much. We'll be back next weekend on Saturday, ready to rock and kill this thing. And hopefully the NBA finals aren't over at that point. They very well could be. I do not like this matchup for the Cavs at all.
Like I said before this whole thing started, I think Golden State came in, after Cleveland ruined the dream season. It's kind of like how the Giants ruined that Patriots perfect season.
Yeah. And
then they're just back with a vengeance, and they want to go. I mean, be the only team to never lose a game in the playoffs would be amazing. Look, I think if they get through Game 3, that's my prediction. If they get through Game 3, I think the only game that they have a shot at losing is the first game in Cleve. If they get through that, they will sweep.
They will sweep. All right. And if you want to lay 18.5, it pays plus 325.
Ooh.
Just saying.
I do think they win by 20.
Yeah, there you go. 18.5. What if they go out? What if they go out and murder them? You know what I mean?
Well, like win by like 40, like
40 today. I mean, that's just going to be a bad look.
What happens to the NBA? I know we're closing out here, but what happens to the NBA? Yeah, if it's like 20-plus point wins in every game and it's a sweep.
Yeah,
what's the point of trying?
Yeah, right. Right, exactly. All right, brother. Dan, I want you to enjoy your day. I want the nation to enjoy their days. Guys, we enjoy this. We love you to death. Go out there. Make your weekend special and get that money. Let's go.
Peace.